So before we get started with this gig log, I just want to let you guys know I'm fastly approaching 5,000 subs. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing. As soon as we hit that 5,000 mark, I'm going to be giving away something super cool. And stay tuned to the very end of this one, because this was a crazy gig. Cannot believe what happened. I'll spoiler alert here. My truck broke down and it was just a really stressful day. So there's some video clips missing because the whole truck scenario didn't get recorded, but I recap all that at the end of this, so make sure you stay around till the end. Thanks. What's going on, my friends? DJ LoStax here. Welcome back to the channel. First off, I'd like to apologize for this interesting camera angle, but we are on our way to an event. We got to stop by one of the other guys' events, drop him off a polo. It's our newest recruit, DJ Orion Henry is what he goes by. Longtime club DJ, longtime Southwest Michigan DJ. Did some residencies in Chicago, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. So very experienced guy. I'm stopping by to drop off polo to him. He's doing photo booth and DJ services for an event. It's about 7 miles away from the wedding that I'm doing, and they're both about an hour away from home. So headed there now. I'll give you guys an update when we get there. Introduce you to him and show you his setup and what he's working with today. And then we're gonna be headed to, he's at a private property, so it's a member of the family's farm or something like that. They're doing a tent wedding. I'm at the Blue Dress Barn in Benton Harbor, Michigan, and Ryan is in Sodus, Michigan, so they're pretty close. If you're from the Michigan area, you might recognize those names. If you're not, they're 7 miles away from each other, and they're both an hour southwest of me. So anyway, on the road, I'll touch base with you guys when we get to Ryan's event, and then I'll take you along with me to the Blue Dress Barn. Let's go. All right, it's safe to say that Ryan is officially in the most rural space I've ever seen. I just went back and dropped off that polo to him, and he's literally like a quarter mile off the road. I wasn't sure if I could make it back here, so I didn't drive my truck, but yeah, he's out here. All right, guys, so fast forward a few hours. It's been a rough couple of hours. Let me explain. So I went to drop off the polo to Ryan. As soon as we got there, I was talking to him, talking about his event and stuff. Everything's going great. I go to leave and my truck won't start. So we get somebody that was there to come try to jump it. Tried to jump it, wouldn't start. So long story short, we unhooked my trailer from my truck, pulled my truck out of the way. He had a tow strap, pulled my truck out of the way, hooked his truck up to my trailer. Luckily, we were only about 7 miles away from my venue, so we towed my trailer to the venue. He helped me unload, dumped my trailer off, and then drove the truck back to his event so that he could take a shower and get ready because he was part of the wedding. So super grateful for that family and that guy. Long story short, now I had my dad show up, and he lives, I don't know, about 30 minutes away. So he came, looked at my truck. Somehow, dads are magic. He got it started, so truck's running. He drove it back to his house. His truck is here with me, and I'm gonna be using that to pull my trailer home this evening. So we got it all figured out, but it was definitely a very stressful day. I was a little nerve-wracked there for a minute, but we made it happen. I got here, got set up in time, had some extra time. So I'm gonna come inside. I'll show you guys the setup today. Ceremony already happened. I missed that. I did record just a little bit of it on my phone, so I'll upload probably just a little clip of that. But let me show you the setup. All right, so hopefully I don't get hit with a copyright strike, but photo booth's here. I've been using these lights to help light it. It helps a ton. So if you're running a salsa, I can leave a link to these. I'm actually gonna be doing a video on lighting soon, but come over here. I might end up having to do a voiceover on this because I'm playing cocktail music, but here's the setup. Here's the rest of the barn here. Just say the words and we'll be super nice spot. Bars over there, dance floors right here, obviously. And then out here is cocktail hour. So cocktails going on down there. and reception will be in here. My name is Logan and I'll be your entertainer this evening, but before we get started, I need to make sure you guys can get really loud for our newlyweds. So on the count of 3, I'm gonna raise the clipboard. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nailed it, love it. First, I'd like to welcome in our parents of the bride and groom. And now I need you all on your feet. On your feet, if you can clap to the beat, try. At this moment, I'd like to welcome in our newlyweds, the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Craven. So, let's recap one of, probably to date, the most stressful days of my life. So, going into this day, what happened was, one of the new guys, Ryan, he hadn't given him his branded polo yet. So, his event was like 7 miles away from me. I was going to go drop the polo off. He was outside in a tent wedding, hot, whatever. I'm going to rock the polo. So, I was like, yeah, no big deal, man. I can drop it off to you. So I go over to his event to drop the polo off. When I get there, it's kind of like this long dirt path to get back. It's on like it was like family friend's property or something like that, and they had this tent out in this middle of nowhere, literally. And I didn't know if I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know if I could get back there to turn around, or I didn't know if I could turn around once I got back there with my truck and trailer. So I decided to park it out kind of by the road with the parking area where all the guests are going to be parking, and then I walk down. Well, I get down there, hand them over the polo. I'm there for 10, maybe 15 minutes. I walk back up, jump in my truck to leave. It won't start. It just clicks and says service charge system, whatever the heck that means. So, almost brand new truck, a couple years old, and it won't start for me. And I've got 20 minutes to get to my next event, So I get out of my truck, kind of panicking. I run back down to where the event was, and I asked one of the guys that's there helping set up for the wedding if he could give me a jump. So he comes up, he's got a jump pack. We try to jump it, won't jump. I get my jumper cables out, put his truck on it, still won't do it. It's just not doing anything. I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, like, I've heard of people having panic attacks. I've never experienced anything like that, but that day I definitely got close. So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden I feel this like weird wooziness come over me. My legs are kind of just getting noodly and loose, and I kind of grab a hold of the edge of my truck, and he looks over at me and he says, "You all right, man?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." So I need to just gather myself for a second. I kind of looked down, closed my eyes, and I took a couple deep breaths. I looked up at him and I said, I'm pretty sure his name was Rick or Rich, and I said, "Man, is there any way in hell I can borrow your truck?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely." So we ended up pulling my truck out of the way, hooked his truck up to my trailer. He had one of his friends, Kirk. He helped me out. He got in and rode with me over there. I towed my trailer over to the venue. He helped me unload real quick. We dropped my trailer off there, and he took off back to that wedding. I ended up calling my dad. So my dad and my stepmom, they live about 35 minutes away. They ended up coming, 2 vehicles, dropped his truck off to me, so I had a vehicle to pull my trailer home with, and then they took off over to where my truck was to see if he could get it started. And lo and behold, dads have superpowers. Somehow, some way, he ended up getting it started and brought it back to his house. And come to find out, we're pretty sure it's just a bad battery. So I put a new battery in it, and hopefully that solves my issues. But this day, holy cow, man, I am so grateful for Kirk that helped me, and Rich who helped me borrow his truck. I think it was Rich. It was just, yeah, crazy. I could not, like, I don't think they realized what they did, man. Like, not only did they help me out, but they literally saved a couple's wedding day. Like, had I not made it there, I would have been screwed. And yes, I was arriving way early. You know, I was still there 2 hours before ceremony was supposed to start. So, or prelude or whatever. So, you know, I had an hour and a half to set up before I was really supposed to start playing prelude music. And I made it, and everything worked out fine. But, you know, had I not arrived early or been down there early, it would have been rough. You know, and I still set up as fast as I possibly could. And it's kind of a tough load in there. Barn weddings typically kind of are. So it was a tougher load in and all that stuff. And you know, you'll see, you know, in the gig log what my setup was and that type of thing. And ceremony is down below and all that good stuff. But yeah, guys, you know, you just never know. Like, this is just proof. You know, I've done hundreds of weddings, and you never know when something crazy is going to happen. You're going to have a flat tire, or your truck's not going to start, or something like that. You know, had I not gone over there to drop the polo off, maybe my truck would have been stranded at the venue that I was at. You know, that would have been a little bit better of a scenario. But, you know, either way, make sure you guys are leaving early. This is just a prime example that make sure you guys are leaving early. Make sure you guys are giving yourself plenty of time, you know, to get there, get set up, all that good stuff. Because you never know when something bad's going to happen, and it can make you late. So, all right. Fastly approaching 5,000 subs. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe below. Click that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know, have you ever had something crazy like this happen to you? You know, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you as a DJ? Anything similar to this? Let me know in the comments below. Peace.